morning, folks. This is Deb Delapanner, and this is your short take. It is Sunday, the 11th of June. So the dust has settled since the original video I did on Trump's indictment. The indictments have been unsealed now, and they're out there for everybody to view. And I have to say this. I never thought that this guy could shock me any more than he already has. But his behavior, his actions with sensitive, confidential, secret documents is beyond the pale. It is egregious. And I believe the Washington Post described it as jaw-dropping. It totally is. It's amazing. This is a man who shared secret, confidential documents, top secret documents with Kid Rock, if you can fucking believe it. Kid Rock. And there's Kid Rock being interviewed by Tucker Carlson, laughing it up. The two of them are laughing it up like it's a big goddamn joke. You know, like, oh, do you think I should be privy to this? You know what? None of this is funny. And watching the right's response to all of this should prove to you by now that the two parties aren't the same. But I keep hearing people who are supposedly on the left saying that they still drink from the same well, the same bullshit that they were spouting in 2016. They're still spouting in 2023, 7 years later, after we've had a full-on insurrection. Donald Trump in office for 4 years, followed by a full-on insurrection because he couldn't give up power, a man who was power drunk, and a bunch of legislators who are fascists in a cult and cannot think for themselves. They're all rallying around their boy. Because you want to know why? Because they have never, ever, ever thrown the man out of the party. Because they don't have the courage to do so. These people do not belong in office. And yes, I have no doubt in my mind that Jack Smith is investigating some of these people. But he will not be removing the entirety of the GOP from our legislature. That's up to us. So let me set the record straight here. The two parties don't drink from the same well. Everything that's going on in this country right now is being done by the GOP. Everything. All of the oppression, all of the hatred, all of the normalization of white supremacy, the overturning of women's rights, all of this is on the GOP. It is not on the Democratic Party. What else is on the GOP? The fact that they are supporting a man who has been indicted on 37 counts of violating the Espionage Act. What does that tell you? A man who shared documents with a second-rate rock star who barely has two brain cells to rub together, along with several other low-level people who should never have been shown any of that material, waving maps, showing nuclear secrets, not only of this nation, but of other nations. It's all in the indictment. If you haven't yet read it, I suggest that you do. Now, the same people who are on the left posting madly for the last 7 months that Merrick Garland and Jack Smith were never going to indict him are now saying they don't believe he's going to be convicted. You know what? Shut the fuck up. The time is now for you to be quiet. I swear to God, most of you just want to hear yourself talk on social media so you can get your hit rate up. Donald Trump was indicted by a grand jury, not by Merrick Garland and not by Jack Smith. Prosecutors made a case that resulted in indictments, and they are literally staggering. He willfully hid the documents even as they were trying to be recovered by the government. That is obstruction of justice. He displayed them for all to see, putting them in rooms where everybody had access to it. That is a violation of the Espionage Act. And yet, the Jim Jordans, the Ron Johnsons, The Kevin McCarthy's, they're all behind him. They take his word for it. Because why not? He's only a pathological liar who told 30,573 documented lies in the 4 years he was in office, and he's been lying since he got out of office. The big lie was a big lie. The GOP is finished. Okay? Finished. But I will tell you this. While they are investigating, I truly believe several members of our legislatures, both sides of the House, I believe that they are. They will never be able to purge all of the GOP. That's on you and me. There is only one way out of this fucking mess, and that is to eliminate them from the landscape in 2024. You have people out there who are now calling for people to be killed because of the indictment. Average citizens, people who follow Trump and the GOP, who have been enabling all of this. All of this violent rhetoric has been enabled by the Ron Johnsons and all of the rest of them. It's called stochastic terrorism. They do it all the time. Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz says he's going to retaliate. Kevin McCarthy says he's going to go after the Attorney General. And now we have people out there who believe that bodies have to pile up. I'll put the articles in this on the YouTube channel. The violent rhetoric has been off the charts since Trump was indicted. And believe me, these aren't the only indictments that are coming for him. Jack Smith has just subpoenaed Steve Bannon in the J6 insurrection case. He's got a grand jury listening to those charges too. There's something coming out of Georgia within the next couple of months from Fani Willis, who has been investigating the fake elector scheme. This man is a common criminal. He was a common criminal before he got into politics. He brought all of this trash with him to the government. And he ran the White House like the mafia. His family is nothing but a criminal organization. You know what? I'm just going to say this. As a nation, we are 31st in voter turnout in the world. That is dismal and disgusting. And you know what? We need more than 52% of registered Democrats to show up in 2024. If we do not get rid of the GOP, we are doomed here. If they retain the House and take the Senate, it's over here. You can whine all you want on Facebook then, because you're really going to be in some serious world of hurt. And no one's going to be there to fucking help you, because you can't help yourself. It is not on the Gen Zers to save us. It's on everybody to vote. The boomers, the millennials, the Gen Zers, the blacks, the whites, the Latinos. Everybody has to get out there. The GOP has got to go. If you think the two parties are the same, you are not paying attention to what's going on in America. Perhaps you post on social media, but perhaps you don't read. That's another problem we have here. The land of memes, that's all we look at. We don't look at any detail, because God forbid it might take some time. Wake up, America, because if you can't see this by now, I'm not sure anybody can help you. I'll talk to you later.